Bengals and Ravens on Thursday Night Football. We have a rare good game for Thursday Night Football this week. I'm going to take a look at the Stokastic NFL DFS lineup generator to see which lineups are looking good on DraftKings in this video. Not going to do FanDuel in this one. That's going to be a separate video on the Stokastic YouTube channel. But for this one, going to be looking at some DraftKings lineups. While you're coming in, please like the video, subscribe to the channel if you haven't already done so, and hit that notification button so you can get alerts when our shows go live. And if you haven't already checked out the lineup generator, it's just $14.95 per week. That includes DraftKings, FanDuel, main slates, every primetime showdown slate. All of that is included in that $14.95 weekly price. And every single lineup you get in the lineup generator has been run through the Stokastic Sims, and it has been found to be a long-term profitable lineup. I think this is a very powerful tool. Great bang for your buck. Check it out if you haven't already done so. The link is in the description of this video, by the way. Sometimes I forget to say that. That's where you can find it, right in the description of this video. All right, I'm going to look at some DraftKings showdown lineups. I've been looking at chalky lineups recently. I think I'm going to go there again today. I just want to see what comes up in the chalky lineups, because within the chalky lineups, you can generally find some lineups that still look good for large field GPPs just due to unique constructions, that kind of thing. So you're going to get lineups that, you know, have a lot of the best plays on there, but not necessarily all of the best plays within the salary cap that you can fit. We'll see what they look like. For showdown slates, you can choose a game script if you want to. You know, if you want to choose both teams going over, both teams going under, whatever you want to choose, that's what these 4 buttons are for. So if you want to choose a specific game script, you can do that in the lineup generator for showdown. I just like to use standard projections. All right, first lineup we have here, Bengals defense in the captain spot, just 2.5% ownership going to the Bengals defense. We've got Joe Burrow stacked with Jamar Chase and Tyler Boyd. We've got naked Lamar Jackson here. No pass catchers there for the Ravens. Hoping Lamar Jackson does a lot with his legs. And then the Ravens defense in there as well. As you can see here, this one projected for 206% total ownership. Really the only low-owned play in this lineup is the Bengals defense. I think this looks like a fantastic showdown lineup. I don't think it's going to be duped a ton, because who really wants to play in a game? We finally have a game with a high total that we're expecting to score a lot of points. Who wants to play the Bengals defense? But they can get there with just a pick six. Maybe they get a pick six and then a couple sacks, couple fumbles recovered. They can get there, really pay off that price tag pretty easily. I think this is going to be a lineup that is not going to be duped much, and it's projecting pretty well. Looks really good. So it's projected for about 90 fantasy points, 206% total ownership, leaves 1,400 on the table. Really interesting. Let's see what the next lineup looks like by these numbers. All right, so this one projects 9 points worse, also gets lower ownership, uses the full $50,000 salary cap. So this is one that I would not use. Maybe it'll be somewhat unique in the fact that it's a 5-1 Ravens onslaught. I don't think it's going to be that unique, though. I think this one looks like a lineup that a lot of people are probably going to play. So for me, again, it projects worse than the last lineup. It does have lower ownership overall, so it does have that going for it. But I would guess that this lineup will be duped more than the last one, even though the ownership is lower. We've got a full-on Raven stack here, Lamar Jackson with Flowers, Andrews, and OBJ. And we've got Gus Edwards in there as well. Tyler Boyd, the only representative from the Bengals. Again, this is a lineup that I think is going to be duped too many times. I wouldn't play it in a large field GPP. Okay, this one is interesting. Leaving 2,800 on the table, 175% total ownership, right in the middle of the last two in terms of projection. So this one I don't think will be duped just due to the leaving 2,800 on the table. We've got Trenton Irwin in the captain spot and Jamar Chase in there without Joe Burrow. So two Bengals pass catchers, no Joe Burrow. Then we've got Lamar Jackson with Mark Andrews. And then we have Ravens kicker and defense, Justin Tucker and the Ravens defense. To me, this looks like a really strong lineup. You have to always consider, so we're leaving 2,800 on the table. Any position in this lineup could be upgraded by $2,800. So Jamar Chase obviously could be anybody. That could be Joe Burrow if you wanted Burrow in there. Similarly, Lamar Jackson could be Burrow. I don't remember off the top of my head what Joe Burrow's price tag is. I'm going to guess that Mark Andrews could also be Joe Burrow in this lineup. So that is you have to consider. What are the odds of Mark Andrews outscoring Joe Burrow with both Trenton Irwin and Jamar Chase getting into the optimal lineup? And honestly, on DraftKings, it's full PPR. The pass catcher outscores the quarterback on every single passing play. I think it's very plausible for Mark Andrews to outscore Joe Burrow with Jamar Chase and Trenton Irwin both still putting up big scores. So to me, this looks like a really strong lineup. This is a great large field GPP lineup. And I want to reiterate, every lineup you find in the lineup generator is a long-term profitable lineup. So I'm nitpicking. When I say I wouldn't use a lineup, I don't mean it's a bad lineup. I just mean for the way I play, trying to make lineups that are not going to be duped much so I can win a lot of money when I win. Those are the kinds of lineups I'm looking for. All right, this one, Jamar Chase in the captain spot. We've got the kicker, Evan McPherson. We've got the kicker, Justin Tucker, as well. And then we have Lamar Jackson with Zay Flowers and the Ravens defense, leaving 1,100 on the table. It projects well, not particularly highly owned. I think this looks like a really strong lineup. Once again, pretty interesting to see that we're not getting much Joe Burrow, but I think we're finding some strong lineups. All right, I'm just going to go through and I'm going to save. Actually, I just want to comment on some because I love Tanner Hudson today. I think he's taking on more of a role. Great pass catcher at just 7% ownership. I think that is a fantastic play. So this one's only leaving 200 on the table. I was going to say I love this lineup, but the fact that it's only leaving 200 on the table, I don't think I would want to play this one in the larger GPP. I think it's a really strong lineup from the perspective of I love the players in it. It's just, to me, because we're only leaving 200 on the table, I'm a little bit concerned that this lineup is going to be pretty chalky. All right, now I'm just going to go through, save the lineups, see what our final exposures look like. But we've got T. Higgins out tonight. So Tyler Boyd, Trenton Irwin, Tanner Hudson, these guys are all going to get a little bit of a bump there, and I think they all look like fantastic plays. All right, we got to 50% Lamar Jackson, 47% Jamar Chase, 42% Mark Andrews, 40% each Joe Burrow, Joe Mixon, 38% Tyler Boyd and Zay Flowers, 33% Ravens defense, and a spread here of a lot of different players represented across our lineups. Interesting, we only got to 3% Nelson Aguilar. He projects pretty well for a 1.2K player. Should have some opportunities. Drew Sample playing a bit, but not much of a pass catcher. How much? Yeah, we got to 7% Tanner Hudson. I think I'm going to have more than that. I would expect if his ownership stays as low as we have it right now. We got to 12% Keaton Mitchell, taking on a little bit more of a role recently. Still, I think only playing like, I want to say 19% of snaps over the past 2 weeks. Not like particularly involved, but he's been very explosive. He's been scoring a lot of fantasy points. But overall, looks like a nice spread of players. The ones we're getting to the most are obviously the guys who project the best or the best point per dollar players. No surprise there. If you haven't already hit the like button, please hit the like button in this video. If you want to check out the lineup generator, I always recommend you should run it as close to lock as possible. We're going to get inactives about an hour and a half before lock. All of our stuff is going to be updated probably about an hour before lock. At that point, I'd run the lineup generator for yourself. That's when you're going to get the best lineups with updated ownership projections, etc. So that'd be my recommendation. The link is in the description of this video if you want to check it out for yourself. Thanks for watching.